In this video, we are looking at the outer garden beds of the backyard. This is part 2 of 3 of my monthly garden tours. This is my personal journal, the incremental story of what happens in the garden every single month. And this year has been a little different than previous years, but I like keeping these records to kind of get an idea of what's going on. The big star attraction, we're going to have a special segment coming up here for our star attraction coming up in a little bit. In fact, someone just asked me about it in a comment on another video, and yeah, it's huge. If you've watched, you know what that is, but it's still breathtaking. Please subscribe to Bowtie Life if you have not done so already, so you don't miss a thing on these incremental updates on everything going on in the garden. Let's get on to it. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So I am Bowtie David. This is my garden, and this channel is Bowtie Life, and I'm sitting here being distracted by a dead blackberry vine that I didn't prune. Get that picked up later. And anyway, so as I'm going through here, I've tried journaling in the past and trying to do the app or the book or everything, and it's just my brain, my ADD brain just has a very difficult time with it. And I'm not saying every ADD brain is the same way. In fact, ADD is one of those general terms that manifests in different ways, and you have to learn how each person who has suffered from it at one level or another has to learn how their brain best functions. So try things, be an experimenter. Some of my favorite people that I know are ADHD. They're experimenters, and they find the ways that things work best for them. And so that's kind of where I've been. These videos are really what tweak my brain. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy editing. I enjoy seeing a finished product. It's kind of like being a handyman. I really enjoy the projects I do because I like the end point when it's done and I look at it and wow, I did that and it looks great, etc., etc. So anyway, incremental journaling along here. So it's, for me, it's very important. And you are welcome to follow along if this is the kind of thing you like to watch. We got a lot going on in the garden still. In fact, we are in Destin, Florida, and we are surrounded by water. We have the Gulf of Mexico in that direction. We have the big Choctawhatchee Bay in that direction. And so we are between these two massive bodies of water, and our weather stays very moderate. Right now, we are experiencing lows in the mid 70s. That's the lowest we get. We're experiencing highs in the mid to low 80s. It's been beautiful this past 2 weeks, and I've been working outside on a big project building a fence, and I've enjoyed it because the weather is perfect. So yeah, it has just been awesome. A little bit on the humid side, but it's still been just fine. So that's our weather, our recent weather for about 2 weeks, and we're not looking at much different over the next whatever's coming up. Hurricane Francine, I know some of you got hit by Francine. We got a little bit of rain out of it. Interestingly enough, about 10 miles that way where Mrs. Bowtie works, someone measured 12 inches in one day. So they had flooding and everything else. We did not have flooding here in Destin. It was a very spotty hit in our area. Some places got nailed, some places did not. And we definitely did not. There is not a lot going on in this outer bed. There's a couple things growing that are kind of exciting. I can't wait till next Saturday. This is actually Sunday the 15th of September, and I actually got one segment in here for this video recorded yesterday, but I couldn't get the rest done. Those of you who are wondering about that front yard and that really long grass, yes, I did get the grass cut, and Mrs. Bowtie even helped clear out that strawberry patch. Can you believe? You might have seen that little tiny short, 15-second short of us managing the fire out of that patch. And Big Will Dog 82, yeah, definitely, we managed that thing. Bowtie, Mrs. Bowtie, we were on the job. Very exciting day, but yeah, that was a good day to get that done yesterday. So yeah, Sunday now, and we normally try to do these on Saturday, the first, second, and third Saturday, parts 1, 2, and 3. So next week, be sure to subscribe, like I already said, because next week we are harvesting another monster. Something else that I did not know got that big. I didn't know it did that. And we're going to be harvesting it and seeing what's under the ground. Anyone who's watched knows now what I'm talking about. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. You have helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. I think as of this moment, we're somewhere around 1,148 subscribers and still growing. And I appreciate y'all sharing these videos. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all clicking the like on this, because all that helps grow the channel. Woo! I don't know what that is, but it's about 2 blocks away on the main road. Anyway, one of my favorite things is when you comment on these videos, ask questions, tell us how you're doing. I want to hear. It's share your experiences. You know, it's neat comparing notes, even just across the bay, completely different weather, completely different conditions, even just across the fence, just right over here, different irrigation plans, different care plans. And we're actually going to look over there here in a little bit. But yeah, our special segment, I love it. Anyway, you just have to wait to see what special guest star we have coming back for a very brief appearance. Yeah, I'm looking over my little list of notes here. I think that's about it. We are on a urban lot. And folks, you don't have to have acreage to grow your own food. In fact, you don't even have to have a 1/4 acre of property. We started out on our apartment patio, a 14-foot patio, growing tomatoes. We had 28 tomato plants one year. We had cucumbers. We had squash. These lizards are just hilarious. I've been walking around watching the lizards this morning or this afternoon already. But anyway, yeah, we started. You can see here's a picture of our patio on our little apartment that we had, and we were growing stuff even there. Squash, cucumbers, tomatoes, okra, corn, hot peppers, tons of hot peppers. Oh, it was insanity. But you don't have to have acreage, people. You can put it in whatever you want to put it in, and make it match your situation, your living conditions, how much space you have. How much can your brain handle at the time? Sometimes this is a little much for me. I'll admit. In fact, we did a big changeover in the front yard, the one that came out a week ago, and I had done something, and I had to retract my plans, and we will do it again later. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta regroup and reevaluate, and don't be afraid to reevaluate. So anyway, you don't have to. I've seen people grow a tomato plant next to a sunny window. Folks, if you want to grow food, you can grow food. And you can just find the joy in that and actually see what a homegrown tomato really tastes like if you like tomatoes, or squash, or cucumber, or okra, or cabbage, whatever. It's neat. So we do have a few things we got here coming out, and we'll talk about a few of these things and how the history and where they've been and where we're at today. So I will mention again, and I'm mentioning this a lot in these videos, our production schedule is going to be a little hinky until early or mid-November, and so bear with us. If we miss a time period without a video, don't panic. We are on it, and we will be back at the latest by mid-November. But Mrs. Bowtie and I have a project coming up that's going to be taking every bit of our energy for most of the month of October. And we will fully report back afterwards so you can see what happened. I think there might be some things of interest to y'all. So again, subscribe so you don't miss anything that's going on in and around our garden and with us and other gardens, like you saw on those 2 Quigley's Castle videos that we just had. So, back to the little map. This map here is the map of the property. You can see we're 100 foot wide, 106 foot deep. That is right at a 1/4 acre. That means this yard, that yard back there, and those 2 yards make up a full acre. So we are at a 1/4 acre right now. We are just blessed beyond measure to have what we have, and I am just so excited to be able to experiment and play around with all these beds and watch them come and watch them go and watch them get replanted. This has just been, as far as the garden is concerned, this has been the most fun of my life. I'll be completely frank here. This has just been a joy, and we will put a little map here in the corner of the video. This kind of shows you how big our backyard is. It's not very big. From here to the back fence, which I'm right here even with the back of the house, from here to the back fence is not very far, 20 some odd feet. And we're doing a lot in here. We are doing a lot in here, and we're going to focus on the outer edges here. We'll do the raised beds in the next part, but we'll put this map in the corner. We're going to have this icon where the circle represents the camera. The arrow shows you which way it's pointing, and we put that down on the little map in the corner, and you can see about where we're at. If you were standing there, you would see it. I guarantee it. I'm normally no more than a foot off as far as the accuracy on that camera. But let's get on to it. The blackberries here, these gave us a lot of blackberries this year. If you saw our videos back in the spring, we had people over at one. We had a total of 10 people, 7, 12, 14. I think it was a total of 14 people here at one time or another picking blackberries and blueberries. And these blackberries, of course, are not producing here in Florida, in Destin, Florida. These are growing new vines, getting ready for next spring's production. And I will talk to you a little bit about this as far as the age. Blackberries are a biennial crop, which means they grow for 2 years. They are technically a perennial because they grow for 2 years, more than 1 year. A single year is called an annual. So these things are actually growing vines, that new growth, that are going to produce blackberries next year. Now this arbor here, I envisioned it would be my primary production of blackberries. It has not turned out that way, but we do get production off of it. We still have people picking off of these. And you can see here this green vine that I've got growing along here. It is a new growth. And here down here you can see a brown vine that is old growth. And at this point, this is September 2024. At this point, I should have all these brown vines cut out and cleared out and taken care of. And I'm a lazy gardener, so sometimes these things don't happen. But I'll just let it sit there until it happens, and it gets done. It will get done eventually. So all in all, these blackberries are doing what they're supposed to be doing, growing as they're supposed to be growing, and I'm very happy about it. I do want to point out that this volunteer tomato that I suspect is probably an Everglades tomato is continued to grow up into the pomegranate tree above, which is kind of funny. Yeah, it is doing its thing. And we'll see if this produces anything. It does fall under a lot of shade and may or may not produce, but this is not our tomato crop, so I'm not too worried about it. I do want to show you, okay, pomegranates. Due to circumstances beyond our control, it is possible that we will be having a roof inspection coming soon. So I went ahead and I trimmed the pomegranates off the roof. And I didn't do it last year. We didn't get hit on our roof insurance, but they were merciful. I'm not going to run that risk a second time, though. So we have no branches on the roof. This is the only place on the back half of our house where we can have them. You will notice. In fact, let me see if I can get this one pomegranate in frame right here. Woo! What's happening there? Where did it go? There it is. That pomegranate right there is spent. The pomegranates are getting eaten by birds, and it is just the way it works and the way things happen. So yeah, pomegranate season is over. We harvested a few, we gave some away. We really didn't have a focus on that this year. One thing I will mention, as I was trimming those branches off the roof up there, I did get some of the suckers trimmed off the bases of these with the hedge trimmers and discovered how much faster it can be. And so in the future, I'm probably going to end up doing that. I'm very happy. Well, I'll still have to do some hand trimming of these. But yeah, that was a lot faster. This is the pomegranate tree that is underneath the Magnolia tree, so it gets the last of the sun, and you can see there are still pomegranates. Look like they're developing right here. So yeah, we'll continue to have some pomegranates, though the ones off this tree at this point don't really do too well. We're kind of done with production on that. Coming across here, the Magnolia, of course, this Magnolia does not grow suckers, which is kind of weird because the Magnolia at the end of this video does grow suckers. And best I can figure is there are different types of Magnolia. Are there different types of Magnolia? I don't even know. The blueberries here are getting ready for their spring growth. You can see there's lots of green growth in here, and I'm very happy with the new growth that's happening. I do still have a bunch of ivy. You can see right here. This ivy here has to get all pulled off. It's a little bit stubborn, but you grab it and you get it yanked off of there, and it'll come off and go out to the road and get taken away by the trash people. But these are all blueberries. This past year we got over 32 pounds. We broke the record. We do still have some tall grass in here I need to take care of, but I had to mow a path in here for our special segment coming up here in just a little bit. Cantaloupe on the Cathraloupe. Not looking very impressive at all. I'm going to have to figure out something new to do with this area. It looks bad. So it's just kind of a disaster area. And I'm just not very happy about these results at all. Stepping through the Cathraloupe, that doesn't look great. You can see there is the bee bath that got knocked off by something large enough to knock a bee bath off. And I'm hesitant to get in there and do anything because the bees are at it up in here. So again, remember our temperatures. Our temperatures are relatively warm, and those bees will be active down to about a little over 70 degrees. So once we finally have a time period below 70 degrees, I will get in here and fix their bee bath, but they have to go elsewhere for their baths for now, and that's just the way it's going to be. A lot of Biden's alba up in here. That's those little white flowers with yellow centers. You can see right there. Let me zoom in here and see if I can find. There they are. The bees love those. They crawl all over. One of the reasons why I like this weed is because the bees love it. And we pulled out a whole bunch of other Biden's alba. You can see right there in the center of the frame. There's one about to start shooting out flowers, but as they shoot out flowers, the bees just crawl all over them. And so I will let these grow to a point where those flowers will be good, and that's going to be for about, I don't know, it'll be a few weeks of good flowers, and then I will pull them and more Biden's alba will grow because these things grow pretty prolifically. I do want to point out this used to be a peppermint plant, and you can see it's dead. I killed another peppermint plant, but this one died for a different reason. Take note of that, because we've got a monster back here that actually killed my mint plant. I didn't know anything could do that. I always thought of mint as being the most aggressive thing out there. Not anymore, not anymore, not anymore. So yeah, we have the comfrey down in there. That dark thing down there on the left, that's the comfrey. There's an elephant ear growing in there. I do not get in there because the bees. This is a little area that I kind of stay out of until it starts cooling off. So here we have two fig trees, one here and one over there. And this one here, I'm hoping to get a little bit higher to kind of come up over the back edge of this Cathraloupe. I don't want it to cover it so much, but I do want it to come up the back edge. It is looking strong. I will end up clipping it to get some more bushiness up there. You clip it off, it shoots out in a couple of different directions, makes a bushier plant. This plant back here is the goblet shape. that I've been working on for a couple years now. It has a beautiful goblet shape, a branch in each direction down here. You can see underneath here, and a leader up the center. And so this tree is about what I want it to be. We will be trimming the ends off of these here in a little bit. I don't want them to get too terribly tall because I want to be able to pick them real good. And there are figs up there. Can you see those figs up in there? Yeah, there are figs. And these are late season figs. For us here, not likely to develop. They don't get the chance to develop like I would like for them to, which is fine. We'll have enough figs in the spring, but the tree does look gorgeous. These leaves, there are so many good healthy leaves. They are starting to get their fig rust. You can see here, this is normal for a plant. This is the process by which they lose the leaves at the end of the season. And sometimes you can just tap these leaves and they will just fall off. They're not falling off now, which means they're still plenty healthy. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't really do a lot with that. Sometimes I go in and pop them off when they look really bad, but none of these look very bad at all. Very healthy leaves. We're going to push through here. We're going to talk about the Loquat hedge in just a moment, but it is impressive. I'm going to push around here. Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, he's gone. We are going to push around here behind the fig trees and behind the bee box. We do have the elephant ears here, and we do have an Ameranth down here, which I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. I just want to see if I can get in here and show this. That thing laying down right there is the Ameranth, and it's not looking impressive. I think it got pushed over by something. There's a seed head right over there sticking straight up. It kind of grew straight back up again, and we'll have to see what this does. I put it kind of in a very low sunlight area. I wasn't sure where I should put it, and that's where I picked for this one. If we get more, we'll be putting it elsewhere. You see the elephant ears? Oh, let me show you the bees. So the Luffa hedge. I've had a few people asking about this, either in real life or on video, on comments. The Luffas are going great. Okay, these are not Luffa. These are Loquats. The Loquats are growing strong. They're starting to split out and make new branches all the way down here, and I'm very excited. I feel very confident in how these are going to grow. I do not want to get these too tall, so I'll end up chopping these off right here at about 6 feet before too long, so that it will start growing bushier up here. And there's actually, you can see this is the second one. This right here is the first one. That's the second one, and there's 1, 2, 3 more down there. There's a total of 5 of them. Make a little hedge that goes along this fence, and they're gonna make, hopefully, a lot of loquats one day. And these leaves, I mean, look how big these leaves are getting. This is just beautiful, and they're getting a little spiky on the end. They don't hurt. They're just getting a little spiky on the ends. But yeah, so, and more Biden's alba. As long as these Biden's alba are growing flowers like that, the bees love them, and so I'm going to leave them. Here are the last 2 of those loquat trees. This one, you can see here, it's coming out really good. It's branching out into different directions, which is what I want. I want this thing to be about, I don't know, 6 foot from the fence, fill in that area, and we'll let them grow up. And I'm going to have to keep them trimmed. And then there's still a spare one over here that I haven't watered yet, or I haven't irrigated yet, but it's been getting a lot of water with all our rain that we've been getting recently. Oh my goodness. These lizards are going crazy. So we do have this lemon tree that's growing down in here, and I've got to get a friend over here who knows about this stuff better than me to find out exactly how to make this thing survive. There's a lot of lemon shoots coming up here, and I need to find out what is going to be the healthiest. This is all Biden's alba through here that's going to be flowering. You can see the flower right there with a bee on it right now as we speak. They do love these things. Past the Biden's alba and the lemon trees right there, we have our watermelon patch, which is coming down to the end of production. But look at these things. We have two. I know that watermelon on the left right there, it is in good shape. I could harvest it at any time. I've got two in the fridge right now. I pan over here a little bit. You can see there's another two right here. There's actually another one just over in that area somewhere. I think that's the last 5 I'm getting out of. Oh, I see a brand new one way over up in that area, a little tiny one that's growing. So we'll have to see if we can get that. Season's coming to the end for these, obviously, but all the rain we just had really did them some good. So the watermelon, yeah, it's looking a little straggly through here, but yeah, they made a lot of watermelon for us. My watermelon are really good for my diabetes. It really helps to keep the blood sugar down, and yeah. So anyway, we come to, oh well, there's one more thing over here. This is the brown turkey fig. It got leaned over a little bit. I may have to stake it up somehow. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We're going to come down now to a special segment, and this is probably going to be the only time this segment will ever happen, but we have a special guest wandering on the property. So welcome to a segment that will probably never happen again. First impressions, and we have a special guest star here, Cousin No Tie Mark. Give it up for Hello. Cousin No Tie Mark. There we go.
Great to be here.
We are going to go and look at, and we've interrupted, I know, we've interrupted the outer garden bed tour because I can't get this monster in my yard properly in video. It is so huge. It is enormous. And I want to just bring someone who hasn't seen it yet and give an idea of what it looks like and how overwhelming it is. And I'm going to turn the camera around. Follow that mowed path right there.
All right, follow the yellow brick road.
And yes, I did mow for you. I only saw one snake. He's pretty big. I don't think he'll eat too much of you. He might share it with the other snakes. But anyway, so we're going to walk back here and take a look at the Luffa. And hold on, you need to stop right there. And I'm going to come back in here. And come on. So here we go.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Whoa.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
Look how many Luffa there are in there. Not only that, there's look at the gorge right there, the birdhouse gorge over there.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy.
And watermelons.
Nice melons, by the way.
So yeah, come back over this way.
Gosh.
Come back this way. There's one bunch about 8 foot ahead of you down on the right here. Stop right there and look at all these gourds to the right.
These are like baseball bats.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Here, grab that big one and pose for me.
Oh my gosh. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
could be used as a lethal weapon.
At this point, it could.
Wow.
So you've barely seen half of it. Did you look up at the shade cloth right here?
Yes.
It's going over the shade cloth.
Well, so much for taking down the netting.
Yeah. I got some of the shade cloth down. But
whoa, this is just taking over.
Well, yeah. And you hadn't seen the best part yet.
Oh, I see over the fence. It's taking over there too.
Well, that's his birdhouse gourd. But see, it keeps going here now.
All the way down to...
Now look up right here.
Holy cow! Look at that! It ate up the stump. Wow! This thing is devouring everything.
Audrey too.
Wow, yeah.
Oh my goodness. This thing,
gosh,
is enormous. This is where I last saw.
Going and going.
It does. It's going all the way down. That's the farthest point right there.
Yeah.
What's that, about 16 feet from this end, and it goes about the same to the other end. It's 100 foot wide.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
And you can see it's even going across to the neighbor's jungle gym over there. It's starting to climb the jungle gym.
Yeah, and look at it, it's taking over the step ladder.
Yeah, it's taking over the step ladder.
Whatever that gate, decorative gate.
Now that's actually the birdhouse gourd.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be all birdhouse gourd. I think the birdhouse gourd is holding its own. Oh.
So it's not getting choked out.
No. They seem to be coexisting.
But all of this is all that's creeping.
Look up the back side of the tree and see all the gourds hanging.
Oh my gosh.
All up inside.
Wow, look at them all.
Isn't that just mind-blowing?
Well, I know what everybody you've ever met is going to get for Christmas.
Yeah,
a
loofah sponge. That's right.
This is incredible.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I cannot get over it.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
These things just took off.
That was fun to have Cousin No Tie Mark in the house. But yeah, I wanted to show you this here. This is what happens to the loofah. They start drying out at the top here. You can see it's still green here, but this is kind of working its way down. In fact, yesterday, this was less brown than it is today. So it's going to happen pretty fast at this point. And we're going to have a special video on how to treat these. The number of loofah in here is just amazing. It does appear that the jasmine under here is growing just fine underneath the loofah, which I find very interesting considering what the loofah did to the tree branches up under there. So the jasmine is doing just fine, looking green. We have had a lot of rain here recently and we're still irrigating, so yeah, the loofah these things take my breath away, just blow my mind. I cannot believe what the loofah has done here. The wood pile is, of course, still here. Right now, this over here we're calling the snake land. I did see a snake. I chased a snake off in here. He was probably about 3 feet. He looked a little skinny, so he needs to get to eating some of our lizards and mice. We have a lot of lizards, just lizards everywhere. We had a new flush of them, and they are just going nuts. But right now we have a lot of Biden's alba on the upper level, which the bees of course love, and underneath there somewhere we have snakes and turtles. In fact, here's a turtle that I found while we were cutting out the strawberry patch. I actually stepped on this poor guy, and we brought him back here into the extinct corn patch, which we're just about to come up to. But yeah, a lot of wildlife in here. I love it. I'm so excited that we have so much wildlife. Very, very happy about that. Yeah, I didn't step on the turtle real hard. I just kind of felt him and moved my foot. The corn patch, oh yeah. Look at that corn patch. It is just verdant green, waving rows of, no. I see one ear of corn coming up over there. This is going to be a highly underwhelming production this year. Let me see if I can come back here. Not scare too many of the critters that I like having in here. See, there's a silk right there, just waiting to get pollinated. There is some pollen coming off of that right there. That's the only one I see. I don't see any others, and this is not a very overwhelming stalk of corn. Yeah. Another failure in the garden. Just a little look at the elephant ears growing up along the fence over there. We have the rosemary growing here. There was some, oh, I see a comfrey leaf right down through that big flat leaf down there. That's a comfrey leaf. It is the season for the comfrey to start declining, which is normal. They are starting to look not as healthy, but they will come back. They are a perennial. They come back year after year. They're extremely hard to kill. We have our pomegranate. Well, actually, first there's a lemon tree back there, and it's looking really strong. I see a branch growing all the way up there, almost as tall as I am. That's very encouraging. So there's actually 2 lemon trees, one inside a big pot and one outside. So we'll have to see what we can get out of that after all our lemon trees died in the Christmas of 22 freeze. Again, these pomegranate trees, I have not trimmed any of the suckers. They did not produce very well. In fact, this one here appears to be dying, and I can tell you right now, we'll end up cutting part of this out. I don't know if the rest of it will survive. There actually is good growth over there. This two branches right here coming this direction, almost toward the camera, that are looking, they're at the end of their life. So the other two pomegranates, they look strong, but I've never cut the suckers off the bases down here, and I'm going to start doing that because these grow not as good as the ones that I have been cutting the suckers off. There are pomegranates up there, but they're small, they're underdeveloped. They're already getting eaten by the birds and other things, so we'll let them have them. Quick update on our south growing pots here. This one here has an aloe, a couple of aloe buried down in here, and we also have an aloe patch in the raised garden bed, but these leaf flower and other stuff kind of get growing, and I occasionally come in here and take care of them. And these aloe are just hard to kill. They're a good plant, and these ivy kind of grow over them, and I give them a little bit of love once a month when I come by here, and I feel obligated to make it look like I'm actually doing something with these for the camera. Yeah, that's about how it comes out. Another lemon tree here. This lemon tree, and then there's another one over there, are also ones I need to get someone over that knows more how to make these things thrive. We do have yellowing on this one, which is a little discouraging. We'll figure it out. They are resilient. This is our Dietes bicolor grass, and it is coming down to the end of the season. It makes a wonderful little flower that I love a couple times a summer. Coming over here, we have a pot of spearmint, another this aloe is going to bloom. Looky here, folks. This aloe is going to bloom, and I believe this is the one that blooms red. It's beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to see how this thing comes out. There'll probably be a short along with next month's garden tour. Oh, that's so exciting. I hadn't seen this bloom in 2 years. So, oh, yeah, I'm very excited about that. This is a different kind of aloe. Those little trees right there, if anybody wants a Loquat tree, there they are. Let me know. I'll get one to you somehow. Well, locally. I'm not going to ship it, sorry. But, yeah. Palm tree back here is growing strong. Still haven't decided what I want to do about that. I don't really like that it's growing back there behind this magnolia tree in the corner of the fence behind my shed. So it may come out one day, but I did promise I would end on the other magnolia tree on my property. Now, interestingly enough, both these magnolia trees, one is growing over the bathroom on one end of the house, the other is growing over the bathroom at the opposite end of the house. And there is a skylight up there that you might be able to barely see right there. And we can always look up and see the magnolia, and a lot of times throughout the year it has flowers on it. So we normally have flowers, magnolia flowers, to look at while we're brushing our teeth. Yeah, isn't that kind of cool? Whoever did that, I don't know if they planned it, but that's how it is. And they're awesome. This is a big tree. It actually is leaning a little bit the wrong way, but it's always done that. And one day I know it will have to come down, but we'll have to deal with that another day. So that is the last. Let's take a look at the compost and our closing notes here. The compost, of course, this is the seaweed bin. This is our current pile. You can see we just cut all that grass in the front yard. I'm very happy to have that cut. And I am just about ready. You'll see I got the yellow handled pitchfork right there. I'm just about ready to start throwing it into this end bin over here so we can start having compost ready for the spring. I will end up putting both I'll put like 1 scoop of that, 2 scoops of this into this bin. That top stuff is stuff I literally just cut yesterday, so yes, it looks very green. There's a lot of brown down in there, a lot of healthy stuff. So it is going to be a good spring. So I just did the video test. I noticed there's some clouds up here that look really dark, so we're probably going to get some rain here in just a few minutes, but we're getting close to done. I do want to hear from you what you're experiencing with these things. Are you growing loofah? How about that loofah? Oh my gosh, that thing is amazing. I truly cannot get over it. And everything else that's growing in the garden. This was our second planting of corn over here that's kind of failed. It was old seed. If you didn't see that video, you can go back and see that video. But it was old seed from a number of years ago. It probably wasn't stored very well, which no surprise. So yeah, oh, I can feel a gentle cool breeze coming. We do have the raised garden bed tour coming next. It should be recorded next Saturday. The 15th plus 6 is going to be the 21st, Saturday the 21st, and we will be harvesting another monster. I've promised a harvest, and I am really excited to see what is under the ground. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that harvest. The Luffa harvest over here, we are going to wait till everything dies, and at that point we will be harvesting the lot, everything over there. And there are more Luffa than I can count over there. I can't figure out how many are in there. Links to videos and other channels, if they don't appear up in the cards in the upper right hand corner of the screen, some devices don't get cards. That's that little letter I up in the corner in the circle. Some devices don't get cards. So if they're not there, look down in the description. I put the links down in the indexing so that you can go down there and find links to other channels, other videos. And when I do mention other channels, these are channels that I really admire, really look up to. Many have taught me things that I wouldn't be where I am today without the information they've provided. So be sure to look up those links to videos and channels in the description below. And like I've already said, subscribe. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. I say this frequently, but you are my heroes. You really have made Bowtie Life what it is today. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed day.